Warriors, how are you? How are you doing today? I am here on this beautiful Saturday in Raleigh. Where are you located? Share with me in the chat where you are located on this beautiful day in Raleigh. Share with me where you are. So our stress management fun shop will begin in about 7 minutes. As I mentioned throughout the post, I do this every third Saturday in Raleigh. I host a stress management fun shop in person. This is my first virtual one. I wanted to make it interactive and playful. So I recorded the session beforehand so that I can be in the chat and I can be talking with you all, engaging with you all, answering any questions that you have about stress or anything that you want to know. Right now, I am waiting on the video to upload. I'm hoping that it will upload in time so that I don't have to do the full presentation live because I want to be able to engage with you all to make it interactive and engaging. So we'll just chit chat in the meantime. Let me pull up the chat. Share with me. Oh, we have Noni. I hope I'm saying that right. You are in Durham. I show the chats. And then we have Tanya. She is from Chicago and just moved here from Raleigh. Welcome. Raleigh is a beautiful place. I moved here from Baltimore, Maryland. I went to school at the best university in the world, North Carolina Central University, and I fell in love with North Carolina, and particularly Raleigh. It is so beautiful. So I've been here now since 2005. At this point, about 18 years. So I am very proud to be here. Share with me in the chat, what are you excited to learn today? What are you excited to know? What are your takeaways? What are you hoping to gain by coming to today's stress management fun shop? Please share with me in the chat. I want to make sure that I meet your expectations. I want to make sure that we have a good time. As mentioned, I am going to try to do this through a pre-recorded video so that I have more time to engage with you all in the chat. If not, I will have to just do it live, which leaves less time. But I was trying to make sure I had every aspect together before I came in here today. So wasn't that successful because right now we're only at like 20% and we have 5 minutes. So I'm not sure if this will finish in time, but I will go ahead and get started regardless. Share with me in the chat what your expectations are for today's stress management fun shop. I would love to hear about them. I would love to know that is the only way that I can make sure that I'm answering your questions and make sure that I'm saying what I need to say in order to help you understand what it is that what stress does to your body, how it influences your surroundings, and what it is you're doing. So we have about 4 more minutes before everyone comes in. So if we were doing this in person, right now we would be socializing, listening to some music, getting to know each other, just kind of making some name tags and having a good time. And then we would be preparing to sit down for 25 minutes of stress education, but I call it edutation. So it's education, but entertainment. We'll learn what we need to know about stress. We'll take a break and then we'll go into the active play and fun sessions. So I'll be doing something like that here today. I can't say that it will be exactly the way it is in person, but if you are in the Raleigh area, it is best just to come and join in and see what it's like in person. We have a community of practice. So in order to maintain practicing wellness and stress management, you have to create a counterculture because the culture we live in now is work hard, work hard, work hard, hustle and grind, get up early, don't eat well, don't drink water, barely sleep. That is the culture that we live in. It's called workism. And so, in order to be healthy and well, we have to create a counterculture to wokeism. And so, that's what the community of practice is for. This is why we come together once a month to practice the tips, tools, tricks, and techniques to manage stress, to hold each other accountable, to create that social circle and support system so that we can show up and be who we really, truly want to be, right? It looks like I may have to do this live, which I don't mind. I just really wanted the opportunity to kind of engage with you all throughout the session, because when you do it through here, what happens is it takes all your comments away. I can only see the PowerPoint, which is fine, but I really wanted to engage with you all and make it as close as possible to the real thing. So. Yeah, I am from Baltimore. I am from the DMV area. Yes. I love DC. Love, 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 love DC. It is a very beautiful place. So shout out to DC, our neighbor. We have about one more minute. I think I will have to do this. I will have to do this manually, because for some reason it is not downloading quick enough. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. While we talk. So I cannot see anyone while this is up. This is why I kind of wanted to do it, record it, and then be free enough to be able to talk to you and engage with you throughout. Because if you do it as a PowerPoint, I can't necessarily see you. I know that you can see me, but I can't see you, can't see your faces. So welcome, work life warriors. I want you to join our tribe on social media. We was just talking about a community of practice. You will learn 15 tips, tools, tricks, and techniques today, but you also need a community to help support you, that you can go to and ask questions, and that can hold you accountable. So join our tribe. We are the Life Work Warriors. We put life first before work. Work is an extension of life. And so we want to make sure that we're honoring that work is a part of life, and that together we can hold each other accountable and be warriors for our own health and well-being. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to go ahead and make sure that I'm starting on time. As mentioned, I had planned to record this so that I could be in the chat with you all. I did. I recorded it, but it's taking so long to upload, to restream. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So I am Ebony Davenport. I own Be Social Solutions, and we are talking about education, training, and practice. So the agenda for today, we're going to do a quick introduction, and we're going to play a game. Section 1 is edutainment, which is facts and the formation of the FUNshop. Session 2, we will do an active warm-up. Session 3, we're going to have some playtime. And Session 4, we're going to have some fun time, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am Ebony Davenport, and I teach stress management. I show people how to utilize fund management solutions to decrease stress and counter burnout so that we are happier, healthier, and well-balanced. I use over 50 tips, tools, tricks, and techniques to manage stress. But today we are going to talk about 15, okay? All right, now let's start with some game time. Ready? Okay, we're going to play a game in section 1, and it's called How Many? So what you need to do is pay close attention, because I want you to count how many times I say stress in section 1, okay? The first person to submit the closest answer will win a B prize pack, Okay, so you send your answers to info@bessllc.com. You can also scan this QR code. It'll take you right there. But you're counting during section 1. I will let you know when to start. Okay. So let's start with some not so fun facts about stress. Long-term stress contributes to developing or chronic disease or illness. 75 to 90% of all doctor visits are for stress-related problems because stress disrupts almost all of the body's processes. Job stress is the major source of stress for employers and the uh, number one stressor for 25% of people. End of day work related pains are physical, mental, and emotional. Job stress costs the US more than 300 billion per year, and the lack of employee engagement and productivity costs the global economy $8.1 trillion. So here are the top common stress symptoms. Some people identify as animals because adulting is too stressful. And I understand though. So have you seen the price of eggs? I definitely understand. Personally, I have number 5, which is neck, aches, back pains, muscle spasms. Number 12, which is rashes, itches, hives, goosebumps. And 14, heartburn, stomach pain, and nausea, which is a common stress symptom. Please share with me in the chat, what are your stress symptoms? I did not realize what I was going through was a stress symptom until I started doing research on stress management. Until then, I just thought that maybe it was something that I ate or something wasn't right, but I never connected it with stress. So this is section 1. It's called edutainment. It's education and entertainment. We are going to start the game here. So you're going to count how many times I say stress from now until section 2. Okay. So the first part is the problem with stress. Stress is a global problem that we build an immunity to acknowledging the negative consequences and proactively countering its physical and psychological effects, right? There are 5 things that stand in the way of us managing our stress. The first is the lack of education. What we perceive about stress, what we think about stress, how we view stress, it matters. It matters how it impacts us. The second one is normalized work culture. We talked a little bit about this. All of these things that are not good for your health and wellness are considered the price of success. So we're not sleeping, we're not eating well, we don't have social connection, we don't have downtime, we don't rest because it is considered the price of success. In order to obtain what it is that you want in this life, you have to, I guess, exchange it for your well-being, which I don't agree with. Number 3 is we think that we are powerless. As we see, stress is everywhere, and particularly at work. Work environments are set up in a stressful way in general. And so we think that we are powerless and we cannot do anything to fix it. But that is far from the truth. Together, we can reimagine and reform our work environments. We can make it a place that we want to wake up and go to. So self-efficacy is described as an individual's confidence in his or her ability to take action and overcome barriers, right? In the review of the literature for this, for the problem with stress, self-efficacy appears to be a prevalent idea for efficiently managing stress, right? So you cannot manage stress without thinking that you have the power to manage stress. Okay, self-efficacy can drive people to engage in healthy coping while also increasing coping competence. Self-efficacy has been shown to mitigate the effects of stress reaction and to have a negative link with stress. Increasing self-efficacy and motivation may help stress people engage in appropriate problem-focused strategies. And so, number 4, we think that we are managing stress adaptively, and most of the times we are not. The techniques that we use to kind of manage stress help in the short term, but in the long term they are maladaptive. So that's like shopping, alcohol, gambling, TV, social media, distracting, avoiding, those things may help to decrease your stress in the short term, but in the long term, they have negative consequences. And the last one is the environment. As you know, since COVID, and even before COVID, but since COVID, incivility has increased. Like people are rude to each other. Traffic is just not good. The way we deal with each other is just worse. So um, we have to do our part in relieving our stressors so that we can be there for one another, right? So that these environments don't have to be hostile or toxic. So this is the stress overview. This is what we're going to talk about quickly. So pressure or stress. According to the World Health Organization, there's often confusion between pressure or challenge and stress. Pressure is unavoidable due to the demands of the contemporary work environment, and challenges test workplace capabilities. But chronic stress adversely affects one's health and general well being. Stress is caused by pressure and demands that do not match the person's knowledge, skills, resources, and coping ability. So stress is so tricky just because there are no unifying definitions. How people experience stress is different. As you can see, I showed you 50 signs or symptoms, and you could have one or a combination of all of them. So how we experience stress is different. And then, depending on how we experience it, it impacts our thoughts, our words, and our actions differently, right? And our emotions, mind, and body. So it's so hard to pinpoint or create a universal method just because stress is just, it varies. It's just so different from person to person. So, what is stress? Eastern philosophy says stress is considered the absence of inner peace. Western culture said it's considered the loss of control. So, I blend Western culture and Eastern philosophy and say that stress is feeling out of control instead of inner peace. So there are three types of stress. When we say we are stressed, we are mostly talking about distress, right? That is the bad stress. Put in the chat, name some of the bad stressors that you have every day in your life or that you deal with. Just name some bad stressors. What we don't realize is that there's also good stress, and it's called eustress, right? That's the stress that's associated with all the good things in life and can help us live a more satisfying and happy life. That's like graduation, vacation, moving, trying something new. And then, of course, we have new stress, which just doesn't have an impact at all. Stress is thought about in two ways: the individual and its environment. So, organizational can stand for environment. So, how an individual perceives resources and control over their environment will cause stress, and both of them need to work together because stress is a relationship between the individual and its environment. Now, the duration is very important. Short term stress you can kind of deal with easily as long as it's not a lot of short term stress at once. But long term stress is the problem. That is the stress that is causing so many issues. Okay. Now, there are three types of stress classes that we really need to understand. The first is cataclysmic phenomenon, which refers to sudden, unique, powerful single events or clusters of related occurrences affecting people, many people at once, including natural disasters and relocations. So, share in the chat with me any cataclysmic phenomenon that you know about. The first two that come to mind for me is like Hurricane Katrina and COVID, right? So share with me in the chat. The second one, class of stressors include those powerful events that change adaptive abilities in the same way as cataclysmic events, but fewer people are affected, like illness, death, or significant loss. Now, just living, having this human experience, you will experience one of these three before you move on, right? And so that is a personal stressor. The third class of stressor is daily hassles, those stable and repetitive problems encountered in daily life that typically do not present great adaptive difficulties like job satisfaction, right? Commuting, um, job overload, workload overload, that type of stuff. So name in the chat what your daily hassles are. What type of hassles do you have to go through every day that are stressful? So stress is a process, right? It happens as a process. Stress cannot happen to you without your appraisal of it, right? Especially not emotionally. So when a stimulus happens, something catches your attention. And when it catches your attention, you look at what you see and form a belief. And from that belief, you go into coping. And that's how you think and feel about what you see and believe. And the way you adapt is what you say or do about what you think and feel about what you see and believe, right? The adaptation sequence of appraisal, coping, and adapting can be an automatic response, which is autopilot, or it can be disruptive. Life is the sum of constant adaptation to sudden change or gradual evolution in our surroundings. Sometimes these changes are minor, like the daily hassles, and we can adapt to them without even being aware. And that's what makes daily hassles so dangerous, because they're chronic stressors and they don't require so much of you, but they are there every single day. And chronic stress is not good for you in no way. Okay, chronic stress is good for you. Even if it's good chronic stress, it is not good for you if it is chronic and too much in a short period of time, right? So, um, when we need to adapt to many changes of varying magnitude, either serially or all at once, the ease and success of adjustment decreases, and adaptation becomes increasingly difficult. If the amount of adjustment required is large enough, it may render the individual unable to cope and lead to severe consequences. So again, um, COVID was one of those cataclysmic phenomenons that made it hard for people to cope. Right, we've seen a lot of increases in many things throughout that. Same thing with Hurricane Katrina. You already have certain things in your life, and then these things come and they compound and make it harder for you to, cope. Okay, so appraisal. What is appraisal? An appraisal of a threat is a function of a specific set of environmental conditions appraised by individuals with unique physiological characteristics, right? So we all have things that make us unique: our attitudes, our experiences, what we know or don't know, how we evaluate life, what type of resources we have. And so, depending on what it is that we possess, we may appraise something as stressful or not stressful, and it's really individualized. So, resources. Let's talk a little bit about resources. So, let's say that you are driving someplace and you just got a flat tire. So if you're a person with a lot of resources, you may have friends that can come and help you change your tire. You may have the money to call a tow truck driver to come tow you, or call a repair person to come and switch out your tire. You may have networks of people that can help. You may have the skills and ability to change the tire yourself, um, and the knowledge. Your environment could be just maybe 4 steps away from, you could break down right in front of a place where you can get your car fixed, and it makes it easy if you have the resources like money. So you're less stressed if you have an accident or a tire blowout, when you have money and resources to fix it easily, as opposed to if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't have the money to fix your tires, or the networks or the friends or the knowledge or anything to help you alleviate the situation. It can become stressful. So our resources are a big part of stress, whether we think something is stressful or not. Okay. Perception. So perception, this is a big one, because it comes from our appraisal. So we can appraise something as that, something as threatening, and then fear losing something, or fear worse consequences, right? And that's possible. Something can happen, things can change, and it can get worse. But one of the big things about perception is you can be an optimist. You can think that although things are changing, they're changing for the best. They're working out for you. You could be curious and optimistic about a potential gain, about what can happen that can better you, that can make you closer to who you said you want to be in the experience you want to have. So let's talk a little bit about some experiments that they've done on stress. So stress can be a good or bad thing depending on how much of it and its perception. Changing our mindset about stress changes our body's response to stress. An 8-year-old study with over 30,000 US adults wanted to know if what people think about stress matters. The results were that the people who experienced much stress the previous year and believed that it was harmful to their health had a 43% increased risk of dying. 43%. People who experienced much stress but did not view it as harmful had the lowest risk of dying more than anyone else, even those with relatively little stress. So what it's telling you is that stress on its own is not a good or bad thing. It's actually what you think about it. If you think that this stress is helping you grow, making you better, then it works for you in that way. If you believe that it is harming you, then it is harming you, and you have a 43% increased risk of dying, right? So stress and the perception about stress matters. So coping. Coping consists of specific thoughts and behaviors a person uses to manage, reduce, minimize, master, or tolerate the demands of a specific person, environment, transaction related to internal and external demands that are appraised as taxing or exceeding the person's resources. So I cannot cope if I do not have the resources necessary to help me cope. Right? I need that in order to figure it out, to feel confident and grounded in my decision. So experiment number 2, mind over matter. They wanted to know if mind over matters impact whether stress works for you or against you. So in this study, they re-educated people and told them that the stress response was helpful and it was preparing them to do what they needed to do. And they wanted to see if it would change how they react and how they behave. And what they found is that people were less stressed, less anxious, and more confident when they were told that the response of stress is created to help you. So if you think about stress being a response that can help you, then you have to break it down into 3 different categories. So some stressors like cataclysmic phenomenon makes you feel very fragile. Any type of stressor can make you feel fragile. Excuse me. So think about fragile as a wine glass. If you drop the wine glass, it breaks. Now, the anti-fragility idea is a book that came from Naeem Talib. Read this book. It's a very good book. It's called Anti-Fragility. So if you drop a wine glass, it is fragile, right? It is going to break. One step above that is resiliency. We talk a lot about resiliency. People say they want to be resilient. Resiliency is kind of like a sippy cup. If you drop the sippy cup, it normally doesn't break, right? You have to drop it really hard. It can take a lot of bangs and tears and all types of things. And it won't break. It's still useful, right? That is resilience. But with all that bang up and tear, it doesn't make you better. It doesn't make the sippy cup better. It just keeps it the same. So when you think about stress is preparing you to show up and be the best that you can be, right? And so with that, you can use it to create anti-fragility. Think about like a muscle. You rip a muscle, you tear a muscle, and then it builds up bigger and stronger. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is preparing you to be better. You want to make sure that your stress management is creating anti-fragility, right? You want to make sure your perceptions of stress aligns with anti-fragility. You don't want to think that everything that is happening threatens you and you fear a loss of control or you feel that you're about to lose something. You want to think it challenges you and bring your curiosity and your optimism out, that you're about to gain something from what it is that you're doing. You also want to think about anti-fragility when it comes to maladaptive or adaptive techniques. You want to make sure that what you're doing is not maladaptive and it's not causing you to be more fragile or resilient, but anti-fragile. You also want to make sure that your adaptive techniques are adding to your quality of life. They are improving you. They are making you one step closer to where you want to go and who you want to be, right? So the stress cycle. We talked about this being autopilot, or it can be. You have a stressor, you react to the stress, there's wear and tear on your body and your organs, you reduce your optimum health, you increase your sensitivity to stress, and then it starts all over again, and you're more susceptible to being sick, because again, it reduces your health every single time you go through this cycle. So adapting is making fit as for new, often by modification, and it enables organisms to physiologically cope with prolonged and intermittent exposure to real or perceived factors. So we want to make sure that we are adapting to life stressors, in that not just adapting, but it's making us better, right? We want to be made better. So here are some maladaptive coping techniques. I know they look very familiar. I used to use all of these to de-stress. They are beneficial in the short term, but they have long-term maladaptive consequences, right? They're easy go-to, they have easy access, but they're not the best for you. So we want to make sure that we are doing what's best for us and limiting our time in this. If these are the only options you have, you could utilize them in the short term, but you must take the time to do some adaptive coping so that you are actively de-stressing and that you are making yourself better from the stress that is presented to you. So these are options that you have to be intentional about using, that you have to figure out how to put into your schedule and use them every single day, because it is best for you, right? And so these things are not easy to come by. It's something that you have to plan. It's something you have to be intentional about, but it will improve your overall quality of life. It's good for both short term and long term, and all of these build anti-fragility. So when there is a stimulus, we appraise it and we have two options. If we are in autopilot, we react, and our coping and our adapting are on autopilot, and it's maladaptive. What we tend to do is annoy, deny, avoid, blame, withdraw, and distract from the stressor. What we want to do is take the time and pause and respond. With coping, you have two different techniques. Emotion focused coping is focusing on the emotions behind the stressor, and problem focused coping is focusing on eliminating the stressor itself. So you want to figure out which one works in this given situation. Sometimes it's both, sometimes it's one or the other. When it's time to adapt, you want to make sure that you eliminate and integrate, reducing or accepting the stressor in order for it to make you anti-fragile. Okay. So I am going to give you all a 5-minute break. We are practicing the Pomodoro technique, which is 25-minute active time. Then we have 5 minutes for you to relax. And then what we're going to do is come back at 10:30, and I'm going to share my why story with you. And then we're going to do some active play warm up. Okay. So go ahead and take a break, and I will see you back at 10:30. Okay. 10:30. Any questions so far? All right, work life warriors, we are back. Share with me in the chat if you are ready. We are back. So, I had a whole video for you, but what happened is it's been uploading. It is not uploaded yet. I cannot get it to play, which means I don't get to do the other things that I really wanted to show you all. I'm going to do my best in trying to make it the way it would be, but it's just not working. So we're gonna do a version. Let's see. It's just taking too long to upload. So what we're going to do is just move on, and I'll wait for that to actually come on. None of the videos are uploading. I'm just having massive technology problems. I'm not sure why it's taking so long. It's been hours at this point. So let's move on to our active play, stretch, deep breathing session. I'll have to just put the videos up that are unedited because, like I said, the video that I put, it's for some reason just not uploading here. So I am going to just see if I can share my why story. And if I can't, no. Let's just share this. Okay. So it's not going to show both of them at the same time. Okay. So let's just leave it like this. Let's just go ahead and leave this as a question and answer session. Just because it is not working out the way I want, and I don't want to try to figure it out and waste your time that way. So I talked to you about what stress is. Maybe we could just go back through the PowerPoint. I'm very disappointed that you don't get to see the whole thing. That sucks. So let's take a look at my solution. So my solution to the stress management problem is stress education, which we're doing a little bit now, stress management and wellness training. I'm hoping that in the next couple of minutes, it finally opens up so we can do some of the active play sessions. Also, the community of practice, which is us coming together, practicing the tips, tools, tricks, and techniques, and holding each other accountable. And as we continue to practice, we get to a level where we have mastered them and we can teach them to someone else. So, what is stress management? Stress management is honoring the pause. As we talked about it before, when there is a stimulus, there's an opportunity to pause stress management. So, you want to pause here. You want to think about what your needs are, what you hope to gain, and you want to respond to any given situation instead of just reacting, right? Reacting is never good for you, maybe in the short term, but in the long term, it comes with many consequences. One of the examples I like to give is I do not have any children, but I watch my nieces and nephews often. I enjoy peace, silence, the language of God. And so when they come over, that is not a thing. Children are loud, they rambunctious, they are wild, they enjoy themselves, they scream, they laugh, they giggle. And so initially, it will really aggravate me to just have so much noise going on because I'm used to silence. I had two options to cope with the stressor of my nieces and nephews. One, problem focused coping, which is they're the problem, they're screaming, they're yelling. I can eliminate the problem by just not inviting them over, by, spending time with them outside of my sacred space, limiting the amount of time that I spend with them when I'm getting aggravated, just remove myself from the situation. Or focus on the emotions behind it, which is it's an opportunity for me to develop a relationship with my nieces and nephews. It's an opportunity to give my sisters a break, for them to ground themselves, give much needed time to themselves so they can pour into them. It is an opportunity for me to give the best of me to my nieces and nephew and allow them to rub off on me and give me the best of them. And so, because I couldn't necessarily change the problem, I had to focus on emotion focused coping. So now, when my nieces and nephews are over, I don't feel so stressed anymore behind them. Making a whole bunch of noise and screaming and yelling. I think about what an opportunity I have and how grateful I am to have nieces and nephews to bond, to enjoy time with, to show them different options in life. Same thing with adapting. I adapt because I eliminated the emotions behind it. I integrated the experience into my life now. Now it's just a part of my life. It's not something that was happening to me at a given time. It's a part of my life. I reduced the stress that I felt or the negative feelings that I felt behind it. And I accept that it could be something that is beneficial for me. And so I move in the way of accepting that it is or could be beneficial to me. So mindfulness is so important to stress management. Mindful means to be attentive, aware, and careful, and it is captured through your five senses, right? Mindfulness is the state or quality of being mindful. It is no way you can practice stress management if you are in the past or stuck in the future. You have to be in the present moment to identify what is going on, what is happening, to make the necessary changes to gauge whether you want to disrupt your natural autopilot, how you want to respond, what it is that you're hoping to gain, how you want this to be resolved. It's bringing in all of the information that can allow you to make a better decision, right? And so 10 minutes of practicing mindfulness each day can result in, you increasing your time to you having spending most of your time throughout the day being mindful. So put in the chat if you know who Stephen Covey is. Put in the chat if you know who Stephen Covey is and which book did he write. He wrote a book and he did a quadrant of urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. And I think that this is so important for stress management. We spend a lot of our time in quadrants 1, 3, and 4, right? With work, with family, with life. We spend a lot of time in those quadrants, and we do not have time for quadrant 2, which is not urgent, but very important, right? We need to build those relationships that hold us accountable. We need to align ourselves with change and find new opportunities. We need to plan for the future that we want. All of the adaptive coping techniques are preventative and they lead to personal growth. And recreation time is being time. It's important not to always be doing, but sometimes being, right? So stress management is a balance of work and life, work and play, have tos and want tos, right? You want to balance your 6 components of wellness. You want to balance the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social, and environmental aspects of wellness. Managing stress requires practicing mindfulness in wellness to balance being and doing activities. And we spend more time doing than being anyway, right? We are lazy if we're not doing, we procrastinate if we're not doing, but we rarely spend time just resting, just being, just playing, doing the things in quadrant 2 that help us build anti-fragility, that help us grow to create the type of life that we want. So our fun shop today will be 15 tips, tools, tricks, and techniques, right? We're going to talk about games, play, social play, Pomodoro techniques, dance, moving, deep breathing, um, stretching, smiling, laughter, clapping, stomping, music, snapping, and yelling. Okay, so let's talk about the first one, which is play. The need for play, like our desire for food, sleep, sex, is internally generated. Human mammals are neotenous, which means forever juvenile. We are built to play from any age. We benefit from play. When we stop playing, we share the fate of all other mammals. We stop growing, developing, learning about the world around us. We become resistant to change, and it doesn't necessarily benefit us. Play is the straw that stirs life. It is something that we cannot live without. Many of us are getting sick and have chronic illnesses because we work hard, but we do not play as hard as we work. We spend more time working. We think play is optional because we've been told that it's optional. It's not something that we necessarily have to do, that we can go without doing it. But it's just not true. And you have to think about who adulting is benefiting. Is it benefiting you? Is it improving your overall quality of life? Is it decreasing your stress? Is it making you better? Is it building your anti-fragility? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. So it's up to you. It's in your best interest to incorporate play into your everyday life. Find ways to play at work, to play at home, to play in traffic, not like physically in traffic, but like find ways to bring play to your commute each day. You can add play to everything. Just think about when we were children, everything that we learned through play. The first 6 years of our lives, we played just nonstop, and we learned the most that we're ever going to learn in the first 6 years of our lives, right? Because so many things are forming, so many synapses are formulating, and we're trying to figure out who we are, what's this world around us, what we can contribute to the world, how we can enjoy ourselves in the world. So play is not something that is negotiable. It is something that you must do each and every day in order to improve the overall quality of your life. The second one is the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is a time management method based on 25 minutes of stretches of focus work broken by 5-minute stretch breaks. So it helps to increase productivity, decrease stress, and escalates the risk of health problems. Now, the third one has everything to do with I guess, natural law, because everything is always in motion. Everything is even always growing. Even our galaxy is always growing. So movement is so important. It's primal and it starts in our womb. And many of us live sedentary lifestyles. We don't move enough. We don't incorporate movement into our lives. Conveniences have made things easy for us, right? So we don't necessarily move as much as we should. And it's impacting our health and well-being. We have to go out of our way to incorporate movement in whatever forms, whether that's stretching, whether that's walking, whether that's yoga. We have to do it because you don't want to grow old and you lose your mobility and you don't feel good and you just sit there and wither away. So movement is so important. So before we do that, I want to, before we go into the break, okay, yes, I thought, okay, no, all right. So we're going to take a break, a 5-minute break, and then we will be back with some more information. So at 10:50, come on back. What I'm going to try to do is see if the video is working by then. So come on back in 5 minutes at 10:50, and we will do our active play session then. We're going to play, have some fun, have a good time. So come on back at 10:50, okay? Take a break, stretch, do a little dancing, and come back. Hello, work life warriors, and we are back. We are back. I'm still having a hard time getting the video to upload. So, work with me. We're going to have to do this in segments. I am not sure what is going on, but let's move into our deep breathing session, okay? Let's move into deep breathing. Share with me in the chat if you are ready for some deep breathing techniques. Share with me in the chat. All righty.
Dude, how the heck are ya? I was just taking me a break from my tea and thought I'll do some deep breathing. You want to do it with me? Rad. Deep breathing is how we stick it to the man, am I right? Breathing is a necessity of life that most of us take for granted. It is something we do without even thinking about it. Yet, it is our life force and so vital to our existence. Stress is feeling out of control instead of inner peace. And when we are stressed, our breathing is the first thing impacted. Our breathing rhythm changes under distress. Poor breathing habits diminish the flow of gases to and from our body, making it hard to cope with stressful situations. Improper breathing contributes to anxiety, panic attacks, depression, muscle tension, headache, and fatigue. If not enough air reaches your lungs, your blood is not properly oxygenated, and your heart rate and muscle tension increases, and your stress response is turned on. An anxious individual usually takes shallow, tiny breaths, moving air in and out via their lungs and shoulders rather than their diaphragm. This type of breathing throws off the body's gas equilibrium. Shallow overbreathing, also known as hyperventilation, can amplify anxiety symptoms by causing more physical stress symptoms. Some of these sensations can be alleviated by controlling our breathing. Once we get really good, all of those sensations can be alleviated by controlling our breathing. Learning to be aware of our breathing by practicing slowing and normalizing our breaths, our mind will become quiet and our body will relax. Breathing awareness and good breathing habits will enhance your physiological and physical well being, whether you practice them alone or in combination with other relaxation techniques like meditation, yoga, reading. When you inhale, the air is drawn in through your nose where it's warm to body temperature, humidified, and partially cleansed. Your diaphragm, a sheet like muscle separating the lungs and the abdomen, facilitates your breathing by expanding and contracting as you breathe in and out. With each breath of air, you obtain oxygen and release the waste product carbon dioxide. When you breathe, there are two types of patterns. Normally, most of us practice chest or thoracic breathing. It comes from being told to sit up straight, put your shoulders back, suck in your stomach, and that forces you to practice shallow chest thoracic breathing. It is also associated with anxiety and other emotional distress. It is common in people who wear restrictive clothing, live sedentary lifestyles, or stressful lives. Chest breathing is shallow and often irregular and rapid and can cause hyperventilation. Many of us are breathing this way because how we've been taught to walk around. Abdominal or diaphragmatic breathing is how we breathe naturally as babies or sleeping adults. The air is drawn in deep into our lungs, and as we exhale, the diaphragm contracts and expands. Our breathing is even and non-constricting, and the respiratory system can do its job of producing energy from oxygen and removing waste products. So let's take a poll on how you're breathing. So let's just take a second and sit back, plant your feet, and see if when you breathe, does your shoulders and chest move more than your belly? So diaphragmatic breathing will look more like this. Yeah, my shoulders are barely rising.
because I'm breathing in through my belly. Chest breathing looks more like this. You see your shoulders rising up and down as I breathe. I am not pushing the air all the way down deep into my belly, and there are so many consequences from not breathing deeply, right? By increasing awareness of our breathing patterns and shifting to more abdominal breathing, we can reduce the muscle tension and anxiety present with stress-related symptoms or thoughts. Diaphragmatic breathing is the easiest way to elicit the relaxation response. Most stress comes from thinking about the past or worrying about the future. When you are in the present moment, when all of your attention is focused on deep breathing else to enter. Just to kind of get started, these exercises can be used anywhere at any time, especially during your most stressful moments. And so what I want you to do is practice them. We're just going to do them about 3 times just for practice purposes. But if you're using this in your everyday life, you can continue to do it until you feel the energy, the feeling, the emotion, or the stress pass by, right? So it may take you 10 times of practicing one technique before you feel completely relaxed. And it may take you 3 times. But the point is to pick 1 or 2 that you could do in any circumstance or environment and practice them in your most stressful situations, okay? So the first one we're going to do is we're going to sit straight up in our chair. We're going to plant our feet. We're going to listen to our breathing. We're going to focus on listening to our breathing to see if our breathing is robust or shallow. By robust, I mean you're inhaling the same amount of air that you're exhaling. So it's even and non-constricting. You're not really forcing the air in or out. Shallow as in they're small, tiny breaths. They're irregular. You can't necessarily tell that you're getting even breaths and even exhales, right? It just feels like you're taking in air, but it doesn't come out in the exact same way, right? So that's shallow. So you may take in a lot of air, but get tiny exhales or rapid exhales. So we want to figure out if we're breathing robustly or if we're practicing shallow breathing. Ready? Sit right up in your chair. Let's just breathe naturally for about 30 seconds. Ready? Go. Are your inhales as long as your exhales? Is the air going down into your lungs, into your belly? Do you feel your shoulders rising? Share with me in the chat if you are a robust or a shallow breather. Share with me in the chat if you are a robust or shallow breather. You can also share with me if you are more of a chest or thoracic breather, or you are a belly or abdominal breather, right? Share with me in the chat which one feels more comfortable to you. Okay, the second one we're going to do is inhale and exhale naturally. There's no need to force air in or out or to rush. We're going to take in some deep breaths. We're going to take in as much as we can without strain. When we inhale, we're going to let our shoulders naturally rise up to our ears without breath. We're going to pause for a moment. And when we exhale, we're going to let our shoulders naturally relax, okay? And we're going to do at least 3, 4 would be ideal. Ready? Ready? And go.
One more, make it a big one. All right, natural breathing, natural breathing. The next exercise we're going to do is we're going to sit straight up in our chair. We're going to plant our feet and we're going to inhale. We're going to feel the breath go in through our nostrils, down our throat, into our lower abdomen. We're going to feel it as it moves through each body part. We're going to pause, ignite our senses. What do you smell, hear, see, taste, and feel around you? And then we're going to exhale, okay? Ready? We're going to do 3 of these. You can close your eyes if it helps. I'll close my eyes during one of them just so you can see an example. Ready? Go. I smell Caribbean rice. I hear the air condition. I taste my dinner. I feel a little cold. It's a little nippy in here. Please share with me in the chat once you ignited your senses. What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you see? What do you taste? And what do you feel? Of course, I see the computer. I'm looking at your beautiful faces. Share with me in the chat. How do you feel once you ignite your senses? And what do you see, smell, hear, taste, feel? Okay. The 4th exercise is we are going to sit comfortably in our chair. We're going to breathe in through our nose only. We're going to feel our belly all the way up. We're going to pause when you cannot breathe anymore. And then we're going to release the air with a big sigh, okay? We're going to do this 3 times. So we're breathing in through our nose only. We're filling up our belly all the way up with air. When we can't intake any more air, we're going to release with a big sigh. Ready? Go. One more, make it a big one. Perfect. Last exercise for this session. We're going to sit comfortably in our chair. We're going to plant our feet, take a deep breath into our abdomen, and say to ourselves, breathe in relaxation. We're going to pause and ride the moment. What are we thinking and feeling? Any tension in our body? Pause for a second. Exhale deeply from your abdomen and say to yourself, breathe out tension. Pause again before you inhale. Take inventory. How are you thinking and feeling? Any releases in your body? We're going to do it 3 times, okay? So this is a matter of breathing in relaxation, searching for any place in your body that is not relaxed, breathing out that tension, and then thinking about how you feel in the moment, okay? And we're going to do that 3 different times, okay? You ready? And go. I released a little tension in my knee. My knee's been acting up a little bit. So I released the tension in my knee. How are you feeling? Where did you release tension? Do you feel any better? How do you feel after practicing deep breathing? One of the great things about using breathing to reduce stress is that you can practice anywhere, anytime. There are so many ways of incorporating deep breathing into your most stressful moments. You just have to pick the ones that work for you. So, dude, get out there and start managing your stress. It's up to you. Have a good day, dude and dudettes. Peace.
All right, that was our deep breathing session. What we're going to do is take a quick little, not even a break. I just need to, the video is still not uploaded, so I just need to queue up the next video, which is stretching, okay? So give me about 1 minute. I'll be back with the stretching video. All right, I am back. Let's go ahead and move into our stretch break video. And then after then, we're going to take a 5-minute break. And then we'll be back with our laughter yoga, clapping, and dancing portion. Okay. All right.
Will invigorate you in little time. Just a few minutes of stretching increases blood flow through it.
Sorry. Hold up. I think it is. Hold up. Oh, goodness gracious. This is crazy.
Going can help us tame tension. Entire stretch break will.
Wow, I'm having a lot of difficulties. This is never had this before. Let's try it again. Okay. Boom. There we go.
A stretch break will invigorate you in little time. Just a few minutes of stretching increases blood flow through our entire body, including our brain. It wakes us up and makes us feel less sluggish. Stretching can help us tame tension both physically and mentally, as it relieves tight muscles while tricking us into feeling more relaxed. Stress reduces blood flow, resulting in muscle tension and knots. Meanwhile, stretching increases blood flow to our muscles to ease tension and help us feel more relaxed. It boosts blood flow to our brain, improves energy, and fights nagging anxieties. Static stretching before bed will help release some tightness or cramping that we may feel the night before or during the night. We are going to do some stretching in a chair. It is best to try to stretch standing up. Before our virtual FUNshop purpose, we are going to do all of these stretches in a chair. If you want to stand up, that works perfectly. If not, we're just going to do them in the chair. So let's just start with reaching up as high as we possibly can. Just reach up with spirit fingers. I know you can't really see me, so you're going to reach up high as you can with your spirit fingers. Reach, 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 reach. I mean, like really reach with your spirit fingers. Stretch your arms, stretch your back, stretch your fingers. You can pulsate your fingers as you're doing that. Move them, stretch really, really, really high up. And you could bring them down slowly. Bring your spirit fingers down slowly. Still extending as hard as you can without strain. Come all the way down. Come all the way down. Let your hands drop to your side. Let your hands drop to your side. And we're just going to swing our arms. Relax and swing your arms. Just relax and swing them. You can move your fingers while you're doing that. Let your energy go through your fingers as you're moving. Then we're going to take our left hand and bring it up over our head. And then take our right hand and hold our shoulders. We're going to hold your shoulders. We're going to do this stretch for about 10 seconds. We're going to release and drop it and do the same on the other side. Reach your right hand up, put it behind, grab your hand and pull it back. Let's just hold it there for about 10 seconds. And then we can drop it. We're going to roll our shoulders back for 7 times, as slow as you possibly can. You should hear some sort of movement, maybe some bones cracking, pushing some of that gas out between the joints. This is 4, 5. We don't realize how sitting down all day, living sedentary lives, have packed our necks, our backs. This is the last one. Then we're going to go for it. So bring it forward, and you can speed this one up. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's give ourselves a nice bear hug. Say some kind things to yourself. You is smart. You is funny. You is kind. You is beautiful. Say some words of affirmation. Love on yourself a little bit. Sometimes you don't get the love that you need, but you're always capable of doing it yourself, okay? And you can release it slowly, okay? Right? Now let's release and start rotating our neck. Ready? And head. Ready? Slowly to the left. 5 counts. One more. Make it slow as you can. Go back the other way.
The hell, this better be up.
One more, make it a good one. Ooh, I feel everything relaxing and cracking. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Last one, down. Then we're going to go to the left. Left. Last one, make it a slow one. To the right.
What is happening? This is getting on my nerves.
All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bottom roll. You won't be able to see me, but sitting in a chair, you just roll in your bottom. Roll your bottom. Roll your bottom. This helps with your back. You just do a little roll your bottom. Roll your bottom. Helps with your back. Helps with your shoulders. Helps with your thighs. Just roll it, roll it, roll it. Okay. Give me one slow roll. Now go the opposite way, slow. Okay, one last time. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to shake out all of that energy. Shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out. Violently just get it off you, get the energy out you, shake it out, shake you up, get yourself together, shake it, shake it. All them shake it. Shake it off, shake it off. Yes, yes, yes. Shake it out, shake it out. Then you just grab it and just throw it off you. Grab it and throw it off you. Grab it and throw it off you. Yes, good job, good job. How do you feel now that you stretched? Share with me in the chat how you're feeling after you stretched. Do you feel better? Do you feel more grounded? Do you feel ready to get back to whatever it is you were doing prior to this? How does stretching make you feel? And how easy is it for you to incorporate stress into your already busy life? Can you find a safe place at work to stretch? Can you find a quiet moment at home to stretch? Can you incorporate stretching when you get out of bed, before you go to sleep, before and after a workout? Can you incorporate some yoga? Stretching is so important for your health, the longevity of your mobility. One of the things that older people complain about is the lack of mobility. So you don't want to wait until you develop bone problems, muscle problems before you start to incorporate stretching into your daily routine. So just these small changes every single day will help to improve your overall quality of life and help you to decrease stress. We produce so many gases when we are stressed out, and our gases, those gases can get stuck in our bones, our joints, and we need to do our part of moving the gases to and from our body. And one of the great ways of doing that is stretching, and it helps with mobility. And nothing feels better than feeling, relaxed and limber, and like you can accomplish anything that you set out to do. So try to stretch. Share with me in the chat how you feel when you stretch, and how do you feel when you're stretching daily, when you are incorporating stretching into a stressful moment. All right, welcome.
All right, we are going to take a 5-minute break. I can't see if it's showing the videos or anything. Everything is glitching for some reason right now. I have 11:18. We're gonna come back at 11:25. Hopefully by then everything would have resolved and worked itself out. I'm not sure if you were able to see the last stretching session or were you able to hear it. Share with me in the chat if you were. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I will see you back here at 11:25. We're going to go into our fun portion, which is clapping, dancing, smiling, laughter, yoga. So see you back here in about 5 minutes. Okay, we're like 1 minute away from starting our smiling portion. I had pre-recorded all of this and uploaded it at like 7 a.m. It is now 11:24 and it is still not uploaded. It's at 86%. You try to be preventive, and what they say, God laugh at you. You make plans and God laugh at you. It's hilarious. I think for the first virtual stress management fun shop, it's doing pretty well. We'll eventually have out all of the kinks because once it's uploaded up here today, um, I'll be able to just use it every other session from then. And we won't have any more of these difficulties. So welcome back, Work Life Warriors. It is 11:25. What we're going to do is get into our smiling portion. We only have 25 minutes left, and I want to make sure that we go over everything and have a good time. So without further ado, we are going
When life
to
is very stressful, the last thing you want to do is smile. Turns out, one of the last things you want to do should be one of the first things you do. Regardless of the weather, smile. A 2010 study showed that smiling and positive emotions are associated with increased lifespans. A smile is the catalyst for a change in attitude and a shift in perception. Smiling is contagious because we have mirror neurons that fire when we see action. Neurons enable us to copy or reflect behaviors we observe in others and have been linked to the capacity for empathy. We have heard it many times before. You're never fully dressed without a smile. That is because, in addition to stress and pain relief, smiling has so many documented health and wellness benefits like lowering blood pressure and strengthening immune functioning. It is the starting point to building better relationships. A genuine smile can make you feel more likable, it can make you more attractive, seem more intelligent, and even trustworthy. Have you noticed that you're drawn to people who smile a lot? People who smile are perceived as being more likable than people who don't smile. Being likable makes it easier to build and maintain better relationships with people, which is important for your overall health and well being. Smiling more often, whether you're feeling happy or not, or feeling it or not, helps your body deal with stressful situations more effectively. Smiling can result in lower heart rates during stressful tasks. Stress generally causes increase in heart rate and blood pressure. So maintaining a smile when stressed provides you with both psychological and physical health benefits. Smiling can boost your mood when you're feeling blue. It may be beneficial for people struggling with anxiety and depression. A 2010 study found that making yourself smile when you're feeling down helps improve your mood and increase positive thoughts. So if you're having a bad day, try smiling away. It may lead to a more genuine smile and lift your spirits. Smiling is contagious and beneficial for the energy of wherever you are. So start smiling now, right now. Like stop what you're doing and let's do a smile break. Just 1 minute of smiling has so many benefits, and we're going to do it together, okay? So we're just going to smile for 1 minute and see how it changes your mood, okay? Take inventory right now of how you're feeling, and we're going to smile in 3, 2, 1. I got gorgeous smile.
All right. How do you feel? 1 minute of laughter changes everything. 1 minute, sorry, of smiling changes everything. So, how do you feel? Write in the chat, share with me in the chat how you're feeling after we practice smiling for 1 minute. There's also the trick where you can take a pen and hold it in your mouth. This stimulates the smile response. And if you hold it in for at least a minute, you get all of the benefits of smiling. So take every opportunity to smile when you first wake up. Every time you pass a mirror, when you meet someone new, smile. Smile every time there's a challenge. Smile when you want to quit, when you feel like things are too hard. Smile. I challenge you to record yourself smiling for 1 minute and post it to my social medias. I bet you'll feel happy after, and you'll want to start smiling more. You'll find reasons to smile. I know you will feel like that you can take on every challenge after you start practicing smiling daily. Smiling is the first step, and it is a very powerful step, even though it's a small punch. All right, that is our smiling portion. Now we're going to move into our laughter yoga portion. Have a little fun.
The yoga was created by Dr. Kateria in India in the early 1900s. Laughter yoga is a practice involving prolonged voluntary laughter. Not only does laughter lower stress and increase happiness, but it also works out your stomach and face muscles, strengthening the immune system, reduces pain, releases endorphins, boosts confidence, improves moods, soothes the nervous system, stimulates production of T cells, increase oxygen levels, increase creativity, gives mental clarity, and balance brain waves activities. So, quick question: when's the last time you had a deep belly laugh? Like deep in your belly, where you laughed so hard, you ran out of breath, you smacked your knees, your thighs, you clapped your hands, you began to cry. When's the last time you laugh very deeply? Share with me in the chat. When's the last time you had a good, deep belly laugh? How do you feel after you laugh? Share with me in the chat. How do you feel after you had a deep belly laugh? When we are stressed out, our body produces cortisol. The long term activation in the overexposure to cortisol and other stress hormones disrupt almost all of the body's processes and increase risk of many health problems. It affects the nervous system, the respiratory system, the cardiovascular system, the endocrine system, the reproductive system, the immune system, and many more. According to Dr. Kateria, there are three types of stress: physical, mental, and emotional. Luckily for us, laughter remedies all three and directly decreases cortisol. So, other than being forced to laugh or there's a stimulus to laugh, when was the last time you just had a deep belly laugh for no reason at all, other than you tickled yourself? No stimulus, but you tickled yourself. In this society, we barely laugh. We laugh only when there's a stimulus, but we should use laughter more intentionally. Laughter is a cocktail to feel happy, good, joyous. It releases happy chemicals, or I like to call them happy juice. Laughter releases endorphins, serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. And the cocktail makes you feel like you're flying or floating or magical. Write in the chat how laughter makes you feel once you release all of these chemicals or drink your happy juice. How do you feel? I know when I'm laughing, it feels so good. Laughter is the best feeling to me in the world. Afterwards, I do feel like I'm flying and floating, especially when I had a good belly laugh and laugh for several moments. So it is easy to laugh when things are good or when we're stimulated, but can we laugh through challenges? Laughter builds character and emotional intelligence. When you can laugh at anything, when we are stressed out, we should laugh. 10 minutes of induced laughter is great for our health and well-being. We don't need any external stimulus like comedy, jokes, or humor. We will be waiting forever. We should laugh often. We should laugh now. We should induce our own laughter for our own health and wellness benefits, right? We could practice laughter yoga almost anywhere. It is very easy, and there are only 4 components of laughter yoga. The first one is throughout this session, we're going to maintain eye contact. We have mirror neurons in our eyes, and we can activate a more genuine laugh by looking at each other's in our eyes while we laugh. The second one is hand clapping. Clapping is associated with all the good and happy things in life. Our body has 340 known pressure points, and 28 of them are located in our hands. Daily clapping helps those suffering from diabetes, arthritis, hypertension, depression, chronic headaches, common cold, insomnia, eye problems, and hair loss. When we clap, we want to make sure that we connect our fingertips so that our major organs can receive the benefits from clapping. The third component is laughter and breathing. We want to laugh and breathe from our belly or diaphragm. We do not want to run out of breath so that we can't talk, laugh, or chant. We want to keep our eyes on our breathing so that we are taking in enough oxygen. And the fourth component is bring your childlike playfulness. Let your guard down. Bring your childlike energy. At first, you will feel a little subconscious. You will have to fake laughter. But as you relax and have a good time, you will begin to laugh for real. Are you ready? We are going to do 10 minutes of induced laughter. Let's do it. We're going to start with, we're just going to laugh. Ready? And I want a deep belly laugh. First, as I mentioned, you'll be a little subconscious, but as you continue to laugh and look at me laugh, and I want everyone to turn on their mics. Right now, stop what you're doing, turn on your mics. We're going to laugh together as you're hearing people laugh. It'll help you produce a more genuine laugh. If you hear yourself laugh, look in the computer and look at other people. We want to create an experience of a group, although we are virtual. Okay, so sound on, and we're going to laugh. Ready? Just laugh from your belly. Go. And we end every laughter yoga exercise with a very good, very good. Yay! Let's practice that again. That's very good, very good. Yay! The next one we're going to do is we're going to make silly faces and laugh after our silly faces. Ready? Go. Very good, very good. Yay! The next one we're going to do is we're going to do a silly laugh and laugh until it turns into a real laugh. So you're making the most silliest laugh you can ever hear. You're going to laugh until it turns into real laughter. This will help break some of the awkwardness. Are you ready? Go. Okay. Very good. Very good. Yay. I got a little wild thornberry. Okay. So in honor of the tears, we're going to do some crying laughter. So you're going to pretend to be crying and break out in laughter. Are you ready? Go. Okay. Very good. Very good. Yay. The next one we're going to do is loud and small laughter. So we're going to alternate between small and loud laughs, okay? You can alternate in pitch and tone and pace and just have fun. Are you ready? Bring your childlike energy. Ready? Go. Very good. Very good. Yay. So right now, I want you to think of your biggest stressor that you have going on right now. Whatever is the biggest problem that you have going on right now in your life, I want you to think about it. I want you to get in the feeling of how it makes you feel. What we don't realize is we have so much power over the things that impact us. And if you laugh at it, you take its power away. So whatever is your biggest stressor right now, your biggest problem right now, I want you to think about it and I want you to laugh, 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 laugh. Take its power away so you can approach that situation, problem, circumstance with more power. Ready? Go. Woo! 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 Very good. Very good. Yay. So the next one we're going to do is cell phone laugh. We're going to pretend that we're on the phone having a very interesting conversation, and then we're going to just break out in laughter, okay? So you're on the phone and you're laughing. You're on the phone and you're laughing. Are you ready? Go. Girl, you funny. next one we're going to do is some gibberish laughter. So we're going to act like we're having a conversation, and then we're going to do a little gibberish laughter, okay? So what we're doing is pretending we're talking to someone, we're having a good conversation, and then we are going to laugh, okay? Ready? Go. Very good. Very good. Yay. The next one we're going to do is pretend that we are going to get all of the mental chatter out of our head, all of the brain fog. We're going to do a mental floss. So what we're going to do is pull out our floss. We got our stick of our little string of floss. We're going to take it and put it in one ear. And we're going to pull it out the other ear. And then we're going to floss and laugh. Are you ready? Very good. Very good. Yay. The next one we're going to do today is a wave laugh. So we're going to laugh in rolls, right? And just start small and get bigger as the wave continues. So we're going to laugh in rolls, okay? Join me now. Ready? And go. Very good, very good. Yay! The next one we're going to try is fast and slow laughter. So you're going to speed up your laughs, you're going to slow them down, you're going to speed them up and slow them down, back and forth, alternating, okay? Ready? Go. Very good. Very good. Yay. Now, we're going to do only two more. The next one is the yawn laugh. So we're going to pretend to yawn, and then we're going to break into laughter, okay? Yawn, and then break into laughter. Ready? Go. Very good. Very good. Yay. We are going to wind this session down with our laughter yoga clapping. So we're going to start slow and we're going to speed it up together until we just lose the rhythm. Ready, go. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. 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 Ho, ho, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. Ho, ho, ha, ha. Very good. Very good. Yay! Good job, work life warriors. How do you feel? Write in the chat, how do you feel after practicing stress management and laughter yoga? How do you feel? Combining.
All right, we have just 2 sessions left. That's a clapping session, and then we're gonna dance our way out of here. So just give me 1 minute to get it all queued up. The video still did not upload. Oh, there it is. It is done. So at the last session is when everything finally uploads, which is hilarious in itself, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Right, so I have the final session geared up. It is going to go from clapping to dancing. And then what we're going to do is just chat afterwards because we are officially done. Okay, so I'll go ahead and play the video now. It's going to clapping and then dancing. Okay.
Hey!
All righty. That concludes our stress management fun shop. I did have one more part, but everything is just glitching so badly. I think I am going to just call it a day. It did not go exactly the way I planned, but for the first time, I think we did amazing. I will start doing the virtual stress management fun shops the first Saturday of each month. So it will be one coming up in January. If you would like to do this in person, I do stress management fun shops every third Saturday of the month in Raleigh. Check out my social medias for that. I also offer personal lifestyle consultants. So if your life is extremely stressful, you want to figure out what your stressors are, put a plan in place in order to eliminate, integrate your stressors, and you want a community for support. Send me a message, go and check out my social media and my website. I always come on, or I'm trying to start coming back on because I was consistent, but I got too busy. But I'm going to start coming back on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Mondays, I'll do a tip, tool, trick, and techniques. On Wednesdays, it is our wellness work break. We're going to do some deep breathing. And on Friday, Fun Funny Fridays, we are going to do some laughter yoga. I also have a YouTube community, so join us there. And I hope to see you either the first or the third Sunday of each month. Together, we will practice stress management, and these virtual fun shops will get better as time go on. Hopefully, they will match the energy of my in-person events soon enough. So, thank you so much for sticking around with me. I had a great time. Thanks for going through the ups and downs with me, with the technical difficulties, the slow times, the delays. But we made it through. So thank you so much, Work Life Warriors, for being a part of my tribe and letting me be a part of yours, that together we could work towards a goal to improve our overall quality of life, because living is a shared experience. So today is a beautiful day in Raleigh. I'm not sure where you are, but get outside today. Try to go out in nature. Try to find an opportunity to play, to release some stress. Make sure your techniques are adaptive. And you have to play and you have to manage your stress if you want to have a long quality life. It is up to you to manage your stress. So do it. Go out of your way to do it. Do it every day. It's in your best interest. You will enjoy your life and it'll improve the overall quality of your life. So thank you so much, Work Life Warriors. I will see you on the first Saturday in January for this stress management, the virtual stress management fun shop, or I will see you on Monday or later today if you're sticking around Work Life Warriors for my YouTube channel. We are publishing our Certa Play Nailed It Makeup Challenge. We'll do a book review tomorrow and I'll Sunday, which is tomorrow. And then I will be back on Monday with a tip, tool, trick, and technique. Thank you so much, Work Life Warriors. Enjoy